ImagineTime's mobile application works on Android and iPhone devices. The only significant interface difference between the Android and the iPhone is that the background is white with black text. The first step is to export client rate and staff information to the IT Anywhere cloud to allow smartphones to import and utilize this data when recording time and expense entries or viewing client address, phone, or email information. The next screen has a dual purpose. The first time it is used, it exports key client and staff data to the cloud. The next use downloads time and expense information that has been recorded and synced on mobile devices. Client information that has changed on the main database is also refreshed at this time. During your first sync, the download time and expense data checkbox will have no effect. Once you have exported your ImagineTime data to the IT Anywhere cloud, it becomes available for import to your smartphone devices. The subsequent export of time slips and expenses from smartphones to ImagineTime is covered in more detail at the end of this video. The device used for this training video is a Motorola Droid X. Once you have downloaded ImagineTime IT Anywhere from the Android or Apple Store, completed your initial login and import, you can click the icon and open to the main ImagineTime IT Anywhere menu, as demonstrated here. Main menu choices allow you to add time slips, expenses, and view key client information with appropriate permission settings that are established in the ImagineTime Staff Setup Permission screen. You can also refresh and re-import client and staff rate information. The next screen shows the initial login and subsequent import of client information, work codes, and staff rates. Upon completion of the import, you are automatically taken to the main menu. The initial import can take a few seconds or a few minutes depending upon the quality of your connection. A Wi-Fi connection will greatly speed up the process. This example shows the import of approximately 500 clients using a Wi-Fi connection. To enter a chargeable time slip, touch the time slip expense choice on the main menu. A tab screen appears with three choices: chargeable, non-chargeable, and expense. For our first example, touch the chargeable label. The chargeable time slip screen displays in new entry mode. Touching the various field entries will populate a list of selections or text entry screen. Long selection lists can be filtered alphabetically by name or client ID, and this is demonstrated later in more detail. The Push to Describe button moves the default work code explanation to the description box. Next, the amount of hours is entered. Optional use of a timer is also available. You can augment the explanation by touching the description box and typing the additional text as needed. Checking the Submit for Approval box will include the time slip in the next sync to the remote ImagineTime data stored in the cloud. Tap the Save button on the bottom of the screen to finalize the slip. Now let's add some additional slips. Alright, so let's enter another chargeable time slip, and after we save it, we'll display a list of the chargeable time slips. And if we like, we can click on one of the slips and perform an edit of that slip. Now let's record a non-chargeable slip. Same procedure as a chargeable slip, except without the client selection. We can also use the timer section to record the time as opposed to the after the fact option. Finally, at the end, we display the list. Next, let's enter an expense. We must select a client, enter a dollar amount and a description, check Submit for Approval, and save in a similar fashion to the other entries. And at the end, we'll display a list. Now review each category's entries. If you're satisfied that the entries require no further edit, press Sync and send them to the cloud. This section shows advanced list selection techniques where you can filter by alphabetic character or sort by ID or client name. It also displays the client information list that shows phone numbers and address information. You can click an icon to dial a phone number or generate an email. Okay, so once you've synced your time, it's time to open the desktop version of ImagineTime and download the time slips and expense entries to the desktop application. You do this by selecting the appropriate user, making sure that download time and expense is checked, and then clicking Sync My Data. This takes a moment or so, as you can see here with a regular internet connection. It's taking maybe 30 seconds. Click OK, the screen refreshes, and those are the entries from your mobile device. You can approve each one separately by clicking each line and checking the Approve box. But if you have a lot of entries, you have the option of approving them in bulk. That's an example of checking one at a time. The top section shows the details. Here, we're going to go ahead and approve all of them at once. Any exceptions will be flagged and won't post, by the way, so you can go ahead and do that. And now, if you're all set, you click to import approved slips, and it brings the time entries into ImagineTime and updates all the counters. After you've brought your time into ImagineTime from the cloud, you can run a daily time and expense report within the ImagineTime product to view the time slips that have been imported. So you select daily and monthly reports, and here we're choosing time slip and expense detail by day for a particular staff. And here is the report example, showing you not only the slips we just created, but some others that were created during the day. And that's really all there is to running ImagineTime Anywhere. It's very simple to use and accurate and allows you to record things on a timely basis. Thanks for viewing this video.